If you like to girl boss so hard you lose an arm and become a one-eyed samurai with watermelon boobs, then look no further, because Baiken is the character for you in Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator 2. Since this is a guide for beginners, I won't be getting into the super technical nitty-gritty of it all, but I'll be explaining the basics you need to know in order to develop an understanding of the character. Baiken is a high-risk, high-reward power character who has access to lots of solid specials and mix-ups for big damage. Her guard cancels and parry options can assist Baiken in making a huge comeback, as she excels at making the opponent scramble and panic. You can't just blindly rush in and press buttons with Baiken, however. Instead, try to figure out how your opponent likes to attack and defend, and punish them for it when possible. The first of Baiken's pros is her Azami. This move is a parry, and I'll get into the move in detail later, but what you need to know for now is that this move is great at turning the opponent's offense back onto them due to it being very oppressive. Baiken also has a great damage output due to her strong normals and strike and throw mix-up game, and she also has access to great Okizeme with her plethora of offensive techniques. Baiken also has strong options with meter, as her supers are strong and she can use roaming cancels from her Tatami or Yozansen to make them safe if they miss, or to continue the combo for more damage if they hit. Finally, she has solid counter pokes with 6k, far slash, Tatami, and crouching dust. These moves have long active frames and good hitboxes. Some of Baiken's cons include that she is very easy to burst against. Moves like Kuchinashi, Tetsuzansen, or her air dashes leave her vulnerable to a burst, prematurely ending her combos or movement. Baiken's low defensive stats and long normals leave her open to being counter-hit, and this means that a single mistake can lead to her taking huge damage. Baiken must spend meter to consistently lock the opponent down unless you want to use a very risky callout. Baiken's 5P is her fastest normal, and it hits both standing and crouching opponents. It's great for setting up tick throws due to its frame advantage, and it can be jump cancelled for a Tiger Knee Air Yozansen, but if you're new to Baiken or Guilty Gear, don't worry about this for now. "5k" is Baiken's primary low commitment poke for use in the neutral, and it's a great combo filler for juggles. 5k has good active frames and recovery, and it moves Baiken slightly forward, which helps in combos or if the opponent blocks it. It also has a long cancel window which helps for inputting a special or super move. Close slash is mainly used as combo filler or for block string pressure. It's pretty slow for a close slash attack and it doesn't hit very high, but it does have good reach, and as Baiken's sword hits low to the ground, it'll sometimes hit moves that low profile. Fast slash is used for poking and controlling ground space. It's got good active frames and controls space nicely, but without getting a counter hit, there isn't much reward for landing this move. It also has a lack of safety on block, so this move is a bit situational. You can jump cancel it on hit or block, however. 5H is used as either a punish option, pressure tool, or combo filler. It's a very large move that hits slightly above Baiken. This move has a large amount of pushback on block, so using it to end pressure sequences isn't a bad idea. "5D isn't anything special on its own. It has very poor active frames and slow recovery, so you'll most likely be punished if this move whiffs. 6P is Baiken's go-to anti-air and counter poke when on the ground. It slightly moves Baiken forward when you use it, which helps you start a combo if it lands as an aerial counter hit. 6k is Baiken's best pressure normal that is great in pretty much every way. It advances Baiken forward, it's plus on block, it frame traps, it's rewarding on counter hit, it's invulnerable to throws, and it has a nice hitbox. Using this move while pressuring the opponent is a good idea due to it being hard to stop the kick once you input it. 6H is Baiken's most damaging normal attack. It's mainly used as combo filler, but if you land it as a counter hit, it'll do crap tons of damage in a single hit, and you'll be able to start a combo after the ground bounce. However, this move is smaller than it looks, and it has poor recovery, so you'll get punished if it misses. 2P is a quick low poke that isn't very useful. It has specific advanced uses, but if you're a new player, all you need to know is that you'll be using the next move more often. 2k is Baiken's fastest low, and it's a great move, with good reach, long active frames, and long cancel windows. When you're up close and laying down the pressure on the enemy, use this move as a little combo starter to get your offense going. 2S is a safe ender for block strings, but when used outside of that, its somewhat slow recovery can get Baiken punished by a counter hit. Unless you space this move perfectly, it's hard to beat moves out with it, so only use this move when you're sure you can't be punished. 2H is a long-range, high-damage normal that hits low and moves Baiken forward. It has a good low-profile hurtbox, meaning Baiken will go under most fireballs, dead angle attacks, aerial normals, and some pokes when using this. However, it takes 10 frames for Baiken to enter this state, so be careful using this move because you can get punished. 2D is Baiken's sweep, and it's a useful combo starter if you follow it with Tatami. This move has a high hitbox, so it can be beat by opponents' low crush moves. But if you're fighting a character who likes to be slightly above the ground like Ino or Raven, use this move to strike them out of the air. 2D can also be jump cancelled, so do this when you hit a jumping opponent for a combo. Jumping Punch is Baiken's primary low commitment air button. It's used for air dawares, applying pressure after an air dash, and for Okizeme setups. This is her fastest air normal, and it has great active frames, although it can sometimes miss due to its low hitting hitbox. If the opponent blocks this, keep doing it so you can land safely whilst maintaining pressure. Baiken's Jumping Kick is a launcher that's mainly used in air hit confirms and combos. This move is her only jump cancelable normal, so it's important to use in air combos. Since it launches on a grounded hit, it's a quick combo starter or as an anti-air due to its tall hitbox. Jumping Slash is one of Baiken's farthest reaching air normals, and you mainly use it as an air to ground attack in neutral or as a fantastic anti-air. This move keeps Baiken's air momentum and has a great angle, so it's a good idea to use Jumping Slash to approach the enemy from the air. This move can also be used to keep the enemy away from you when in the air, so use this to stop their pressure. Jumping Slash is one of Baiken's farthest reaching air normals, and you mainly use it as an air to ground attack in neutral or as a fantastic anti-air. This move keeps Baiken's air momentum and has a great angle, so it's a good idea to use Jumping Slash to approach the enemy from the air. Jumping Dust is a really cool looking move that just so happens to be an overhead, so if your opponent likes to crouch block a lot, use this move to hit them out of it. If you're close enough to the wall when this move connects, this will provide you with a wall bounce, so start a combo. It does great damage, but it has slow recovery, so be careful not to whiff this move when close to your opponent. Baiken's Dead Angle attack is essentially her 6P, as it uses the same animation and hitbox, but it's invulnerable. When she can't make use of Azami, the Dead Angle attack is a useful defensive option for Baiken, and the forward momentum gives this move decent range. Baiken's Blitz attack is fairly standard in its use. It's not used very often due to Azami being free and pretty much the same thing, but being able to reject the opponent helps in certain situations. Since Blitz attacks use meter, I recommend saving that meter for a roaming cancel or super if you're still learning Baiken or the game in general, as those options will be more helpful to you. Arguably Baiken's most iconic special move, Tatami Gaishi is performed with the 2-3-6 motion and kick, and it's a most versatile special move. It does good damage in combos, it controls space in the neutral, it's a combo starter, and it can be used to combo poke and frame trap. When in doubt, Tatami it out. You can even do this move in the air, which makes it even more awesome. The ground version has lots of active frames, and it's good for controlling the space right in front of Baiken, but if you spam it, a perceptive opponent can read this and punish you for it. The air version is great for Okizeme, rushing down the enemy, controlling space in the neutral, or to stop enemies who are trying to rush you down. Performed by holding back, slash and heavy slash at the same time, Baiken will perform Azami, which is his parry move. It can be activated in neutral or during a block string, and if your opponent hits you during it, you can follow up with an attack. After this move comes out, you can let go of a button and only hold one. For example, if you want to use Azami into an instant heavy slash follow-up, perform the move by holding both buttons, quickly let go of heavy while holding slash, and then mash heavy to get an immediate follow-up. The best part is that you can do Azami in the air to dominate even further. Performed with a 6-3-2-1-4 motion and kick, Baiken performs this quick command dash called Suzuran. This move is used to cancel into follow-up attacks without having to parry an opponent with Azami, so if you're not good at using that move yet, use Suzuran to advance onto the opponent and then follow up with an attack. However, this move has a distinct audio cue associated with it, so if your opponent knows the matchup they can react to the audio cue and defend accordingly. Performed by pressing punch after a successful ground Azami or during Suzuran, Baiken will perform the Shoryuken type move called Kuchinashi. When doing Kuchinashi from Azami, this move is her fastest meterless guard cancel, and if done fast enough, it's pretty much a guaranteed punish on most moves in the game. This move has upper body invincibility before the active frames, but it can get low profiled, so be careful when using this move. Doing this move out of Suzuran is her best combo ender, and it gives good Okizeme due to the position you end up in. It also does great damage, which is really good. Performed by pressing kick after a special ground Azami or during Suzuran, Baiken performs Mawari Komi, this dash that can go through the opponent. While this technically isn't an attack due to it not having a hitbox, it's useful for quickly going through the opponent to side switch as well as phasing through projectiles. When used from Azami, over half the move is strike invulnerable, but it can be thrown at any point. Try using this move to get out of the corner when you're under pressure. If you do it out of Suzuran, it has no invincibility, but it can sometimes evade slow normals. Performed by pressing slash after a successful ground Azami or during Suzuran, Baiken will perform this forward stab called Sakura. When doing it from Azami, Sakura is strike invulnerable from its startup to active frames, and it's one of Baiken's best ways of demanding respect out of a successful Azami. Use Sakura to brute force your way through attacks, and on counter hit, it leads to great damage. When doing it out of Suzuran, Sakura has no invincibility, with the slow startup of the Azami version, so this version is mainly used as a hard callout against opponents who like to button mash. Performed by pressing heavy slash after a successful ground Azami or during Suzuran, Baiken will perform this forward moving strike called Rokonsogi. Doing it out of Azami is a good idea from up close, as its fast speed, great reach, and side switch make it hard for the opponent to react to. However, it has no invulnerability, so improperly spacing it can get you punished. The Suzuran version is used in block strings to go into a knockdown when you're close enough and to chase opponents. It's safer than the Azami version, but it's slightly minus on block when you're up close. It also trades heavily in Baiken's favor and launches on counter hit for huge damage. Performance by pressing dust after a successful ground Azami or during Suzuran, Baiken pulls out the strap and hits you with Yasha Katana. Other than Tatami, this is Baiken's only projectile. It has very slow startup and no evasive potential, but it travels quickly and goes under most projectiles. The projectile itself actually travels faster than Baiken, even if she runs or air dashes, so from a distance where the startup can't be punished, go crazy. The Suzuran version has frame advantage at close range, so you can use it as a pressure reset. After successfully performing Azami in the air, press punch or kick to do Tsubaki, this forward hitting strike. It's great for beating out most air buttons, and it's Baiken's most reliable air Azami follow-up. It has incredibly fast startup for a move that can come out during hit stop, so if timed right, you'll be unstoppable. The kick version of this move has greater horizontal reach, but slower startup, so plan in advance which version you decide to use. After successfully performing Azami in the air, press slash or heavy slash to do Kikyo, this downwards move. This move is slow and is beaten very easily by multi-hit moves and Gatlings, as well as being very unsafe on block, so use this move with extreme caution. The slash version stops Baiken's air momentum the moment you start the move, whereas the heavy version moves Baiken slightly forward before falling. Only use this move when it's guaranteed to hit, like as a punish on moves with long recovery, or when the opponent can't punish you due to the distance. Perform it with a 4-1-2-3-6 motion and slash or heavy slash, Baiken performs Kabari, this long-range command grab. It doesn't matter whether the opponent blocks it or if it hits them, they get pulled towards Baiken either way, and Baiken has frame advantage, so that's excellent for you. The slash version hits upwards at a diagonal angle, and it's a strong combo tool. The long startup makes it risky to use when up close, but the chain itself is quite fast. The heavy slash version goes straight and is faster startup than the slash version. You can combo into 5k and other fast ground normals on a normal hit, so it can be used as a pseudo combo starter. However, due to the slow speed of both versions, it leaves you open to being punished, so don't spam this move or else the consequences will be devastating. After performing Kabari, if you press punch, you get Himawari, this command grab. Himawari, while doing amazing damage, is overall a terrible move for its horrible frame data and a huge risk factor. Only use this move to show disrespect to the opponent and assert dominance over them. If you want to do Kabari into regular 5p and not get this move, hold back during Kabari's recovery. After performing Kabari, if you press slash, you get Tetsuzansen, which is this downward slam move. It's the least risky follow-up from Kabari, and outside of combos, it's used as a frame trap or call-out option for opponents who like to button mash. However, you can be jabbed out of it if done from up close, so for maximum efficiency, be slightly away from the enemy when doing this move to make it safe. After performing Kabari, if you press Heavy Slash, you get Rokonsogi. This move looks familiar. This version of Rokonsogi is great for converting a far-hitting Kabari into a knockdown, and if the opponent is trying to jump away from Kabari pressure, this move can call them out. It's unsafe on block however, so be careful doing it from up close. Performed by doing a 6-2-3 motion and slash in the air, Baiken performs Yozansen, the foundation of her high-low mix-ups and one of the easiest ways for you to close out a match. It's very unsafe on block, so you'll want to use it to close out combos as it does good damage and has fast startup. It covers the surrounding area around Baiken, so you can use it to hit the enemy from all angles, so even if your combo positioning is a bit off, Yozansen will most likely still hit the enemy anyway. Performed by inputting a 236-236 motion and slash, Baiken performs Tsurane Sanzi Watashi, her main reversal super. This super has very fast startup and good damage, but it's horrible on whiff and it can be jumped over. If your opponent is doing a frame trap or whiffs an unsafe move, use this move to punish them hard. You can also easily combo into this super for a nice combo ender. Tsurane doesn't excel in one specific area, so it's more of a good all-round super. If you input 236-236 and Heavy Slash after a successful ground or air Azami or during Suzuran, you perform Metsudo Kushudo. This is a very powerful super, and it comes out incredibly quickly, so it's actually the fastest Azami follow-up by a wide margin. If your opponent is expecting you to throw out a slower follow-up, use this move to steal the round and demand respect. If the opponent is too far away, the cinematic won't trigger, so you'll need to be close for maximum damage. Performed with 236-236 Heavy Slash while in instant kill mode, Baiken performs her instant kill, which is arguably the coolest one in the game. It has the same animation and range of Suzuran, so it has good range for an instant kill. Baiken's combos are very character specific and demand on-the-fly improvisation a lot of the time. So I'll show you some basic but essential combos that won't be hard to pull off on any character. That's all I've got for Baiken in Revelator 2. Overall, Baiken has lots of risks associated with her, but should you succeed in your game plan, the rewards you receive are immensely satisfying. If you don't mind learning all the follow-up attacks and parries Baiken can do, definitely stick with her, as not only will you girl boss, you'll do it in style. Thanks for watching, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.